We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, this is Jackie Zaccoli, and welcome to Women Empowered Across the World. I am doing the co-facilitator today for Carol Witt, and we are very excited to have our guest here. Maria is, and I'm not going to go through all of it, but you'll, because probably can't pronounce it. But anyway, we are delighted to have her. She is going to enlighten us about what's happening in Africa in her world, and please listen in and see what you can begin to maybe get insights into a different part of our world so that we can work together in collaboration. So, Maria, would you please tell us a little bit about your past, and so we can get an understanding of who you are and where you're coming from?
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on this platform today. I don't take this for granted. I'm really grateful. Um, First of all, I'm Maria Mabasso. I'm aged 26 years old. I'm a young woman here in Malawi, in Zuzu, who is so passionate about other young people, especially working with youth who are in orphanage, in orphan homes. Yeah, so and also young women, young single women, or just young women who are also youth. Um, I'm so passionate when it comes to such development. So, my education, I studied social science in that was bachelor's of social science in human rights at the University of Livingstonia here in Malawi, and I graduated in 2023. And as I graduated, I started volunteering. I volunteered with a POS organization from 2023 up to 2025. So from 2025 up to 2026, I've been working with the government on internship based with the ombudsman office as an ombudsman assistant. So of course my contract is ending this June. So looking at how things are and everything, I thought it wise not just to sit but actually to still see further on what I can do and how I can help my community, apart from being me, like doing the internships or maybe doing the volunteering. Yeah, I still had to go further. That was last year in May. That was on 25th May. That's when I had to obtain a business license with the Malawi business legislation. Um, that's where they had to register me in their business. I had to go in with a trade name of Ndagha Kale, which means Ndagha means thank you or welcome, which means gratitude or inclusiveness. So with this with this business trade name, I really thought it wise that I can still go ahead with some of the initiatives that I do, like partly for my communities, especially helping those widows, single mothers who are just youths, even the orphans. Yeah, so I still thought it wise that no, regardless that I'm on internships or my internships are ending, but looking at the way challenges are here in Malawi, I still thought it wise that I should still indulge myself in several developmental activities that will also benefit my communities as well as Malawi in the coming years. Thank you so much.
Well, that's really interesting. So tell me, what types of things that you work with the youth? By the way, before we go any further, I forgot, I'm sorry not to introduce our other guests that are here as our hostesses. Usually I do that up front, but Pat Tracy's coming from Texas, and her heart is all over mostly Africa. And Alina Pelka is also, she doesn't know whether she lives in Poland or Malaysia. So Malawi, sorry, Malawi. And so these are the other hostesses. So I apologize for not introducing them. And I'm Jackie Sicoli from Arizona. So my question to you, Maria, is okay. You say you're working with the youth and the orphans and the young women and widows, and so tell us a little bit more about some of the things that you're doing with them and with human rights. I mean, you're going to have to start anew by the end of this month. It sounds like. What are your plans to be able to work with them? What do you see, and what types of programs will you be doing? Are you frozen? I have a feeling she's frozen. Okay. She's trying. Uh-huh. Keep trying, Maria. Okay. How did you get to know her in the first place, Alina?
Sorry?
How did you get to know her in the first place?
We met in 2024 in Malawi. So it was the time when Yorga's Foundation was implementing was a project on sewing, training women on sewing reusable pads and providing them with trainings on reproductive health, menstrual hygiene, and small business basics. So we organized it in two places in Malawi. The first place was Mzuzu, and that time Maria just mentioned she was volunteering in a POS Youth Malawi or a foundation, which they were our partners in this part of the country. So that this is how we met. And yeah, we liked each other very much. We spent a lot of time on talking and, discussing different problems and issues that young people face in Malawi. Okay, Maria is with us. She's back.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Alina. Gives us a better
Yes.
background. Okay,
Uh,
we are listening. Tell us a little bit more about those programs now that we have a concept of how you met Alina. Tell us what you do.
Okay, so from the background on how Alina has explained more, I'm truly grateful, Alina, for the explanation, and that's really how we really met. Um, as of now, my focus on how I'm working with these young people and young women who are single parents. I'm much interested. I'm more into modern and sustainable agriculture, whereby in this sector, I'm able to where I'm able to conduct sessions on how we can produce inputs that are affordable and are accessible to each and everyone who is into farming, because here in Malawi we if there's an activity that brings income direct to each and everyone of ours, it's farming. So in this case, I work hand in hand with some of the colleagues that are also into sustainable agriculture, where they produce some of the things that we produce are organic fertilizers at a very lower cost, whereby each and every single woman or an orphan who is interested into farming can afford. And in that case, we're also in providing like inputs, hose that are affordable, and they are really good enough for the whole season, so that they can afford, each and everyone can afford. And at the end of the day, like fertilizer here in Malawi is very expensive. So most of the people, if we introduce them to this organic manure, organic fertilizer, we really have like much interest to say, wow, this is at least cheap, so we can go for it, and it is really working. And I'm also one of them who uses it. Like right now, I've planted some of the tubers, some of the cereals using the organic fertilizer, which is not costly,
Mhm.
and it really brings positive impact. And the harvest is really huge. So in that case, I I hold sessions. I I also advertise and sell some of those products. And secondly, I'm also working on livelihood support, whereby we're into of course it's just starting, that maybe we're into accommodation, whereby if we can have much of funding, or maybe much of resources, we can be able to have our own spaces whereby we can be able to teach those sessions, and sell some of the products in those places, and people should be able to find us where we're like on the field. They should be able to get the real knowledge and experience and skills, that oh, this is how things are really working, and this is what we need to do. So in that case, in the accommodation sector, I'm not only looking at the sessions, but I'm also looking at other things. In that case, we're also looking at culture. How are we maintaining the culture of us using the organic thing, the organic manure, the organic fertilizer that is available, the natural things that are available? How are we using them? How are we sustaining them? So in that case, I'm also looking at culture and heritage, whereby how can I pass on this culture to the next generation, of not using something which has chemicals, but something that is sustainable and reliable, even to the future generations. They'll also be able to teach the other generations that, oh, in our time we would use this, and even in our time we would use maybe these hose. In our time we would use maybe these shoes. In our time we would make this. So in that case, I'm also looking at all those dimensions. In that case, we're also looking at how can we maintain the education for young girls, like orphans, who are in such a state of orphanhood. Let's say he or she is able to grow something which is less than is less than maybe a $50, somewhere there is less than a $20, is less than a $10. And how can he or she pay for his or her fees after getting something from there, and looking at the same thing, how can we, like, in the future, help those young people to sustain in their education, as Alina also mentioned in the in her statement, that when she was here, we were able to learn about menstrual hygiene. They were able to teach us on how to use reusable resources, on how to keep us off screen. And that knowledge, how can we impact it to those young people who are also there, so that they can also be using something which is sustainable for them. um so in that case, I'm still looking at more things to come, but as of now, I'm just working on these two things, which is sustainable agriculture and accommodation. But my vision is way too far, of course, as I've just mentioned partly of it. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, Selena, it's obvious why she's here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, you you really have the threads of exactly who are in what we call the Global Impact Network. It's all of the
Yeah.
CBOs and NGOs that are in the countries in East Africa mostly. And your challenges with the sanitary napkins, with the agriculture, with the fertilizer. I'm impressed about the fertilizer. What are you using for the natural fertilizer at this point?
In this case, we're using okay, on how we produce it.
Yeah, uh-huh. Are you just doing composting? Is that what you're doing?
On how we produce it, or maybe on how we sell it, on or
Yes, all of that. Hmm.
Okay, so on how we produce it, we use there different types of matters, like dirty matters that we throw. There's food type, there's plastic, there's the metal. So we grade them. So we take all those that decompose and put them together. We even add sometimes ash. We even add the soil, the dark soil. So all the materials that decompose, talk of fruit covers, the bananas, everything. Like we even take those litters from the city. Yeah, so I also collaborate with Green for Africa, who are also into
Mm.
that, especially like they are given a space here in Nzuzu where they work, like where all the matters are thrown to. But with them, they so in that case we are able to select matters even before
Mm.
selecting those matters. Before they come to the field, they're already selected. So all the cities, the bins that are put there for decomposing matters, for plastics, for metal things. So in that case, we use those matters that decompose. So if they decompose, we put them together and we measure the measurements on how we can use them, on how we can make the manure itself. So in that case, it really works. And the selling, like the bags. The bags is 50 kg. At 50 kg, we make it at how can I convert 20,000 Malawi kwacha to a dollar? Yeah, somewhere
Yeah, go
20,000
I,
Malawi
go go
kwacha
for
to a dollar.
I am checking it. Just
Yeah.
one, give me one moment. There is an app for everything. Just Malawi.
Oh,
Malawi
Yeah.
kwacha.
impressive, impressive. You do have it down
Mm.
there
Yes.
with science. I
This
didn't know
is
how well you did it.
20,000. You mentioned
Mm.
20,000.
Yeah, 20,000 Malawi kwacha.
20,000 Malawi kwacha to US dollars. 20,000 Malawi kwacha is just like around $12.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Mm.
$12.
so you
Yeah.
sell it for $12 a unit, a bag, or whatever it is.
50
Okay,
kilograms.
Yeah,
50
at
kilograms. Oh, okay.
50 kg. Yeah, 50 kilograms. And I
Uh-huh.
also forgot that I'm also in the that's fish farming. Yeah,
Yes.
I also forgot the fish farming.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
So in the
Okay.
fish farming, we're also making fish meal. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
fish meal that we're making, and there are also ponds that we're keeping fish in there. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you have tell
So
that's
So in
great.
the fish meal, there are also some equations that we use, some materials, and these materials are they're just local materials. Like these ones are the ones that I collaborate with those widows now who are into farming. Like talk of who are into soya beans, who are into rice farming, who are into or wheat farming, who are into maize farming, who are into groundnut cassava farming. All those are like materials that are used to make to make the fish meal now. So
Uh-huh.
the materials that we get, their end products like the groundnut cake. Yeah, we get the groundnut cake. We get the maize bran. We get the soya beans outer shell.
Beautiful.
We get the cassava flour, just a bit of it. I can just give you some measurements of each and every. Um, uh,
She knows what she's doing, obviously. She has this down to a
yeah.
beautiful science. I am totally
So
impressed.
so yeah. So here is the formula for the fish, especially
No, that's
the
okay.
grower
You
feed.
don't you don't have to go through all the whole formula. Yeah, we won't let
Okay,
that. You
okay,
know what you're
fine.
doing. I'm so glad. I was going to suggest that you sell that fertilizer, and it sounds like you're already doing that, so I don't need to work on that one. However, and the fish farming,
Mm.
so do you have your own fishery? You have your, how close are you to water? You have your own pond, or what is that?
Yeah, I have lucky enough, I secured a certain area where I have a pond, and it's just one, of course, and as a one reservoir whereby we keep some fish species which are small, or water, but in the near future, when all things work well, God willingly, we may dig more ponds on the same area. Yeah,
Oh,
because
beautiful,
the area is still big. Yeah, so that can cover
beautiful,
other ponds, maybe
beautiful.
3 or 4. Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Alina,
yeah.
go for it. You've been patiently waiting.
Yes, because I would like, Maria, I would like you to uh, tell our viewers, listeners, a little bit more about widows, because you mentioned working with widows and taking care of widows. Not everyone, well, for people that will listen and watch this episode, understands the situation of widows in Malawi and other countries of Africa that is so much different that the situation of widows in our country. So please tell the people a little bit more why we should take care of widows, assist them to just create
All right.
some, sources of income for them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alina. That's really a great insight on that. Here in Malawi, when someone is a widow, especially women, it becomes a challenge for them, because most of us women, we move from our parents' homes following our husband's area. So when we're at our husband's area and when the man has passed, it really becomes hard for a woman to carry out some of the activities. They say they need to inherit that area, or they need to inherit everything, including your children. So in that case, as a human rights defender, I myself, uh, I look into that as something which puts women into inferiority, whereby they are seen as inferiors, as if they cannot do anything on their own. And looking at that, that's why I came up with this collaboration with them. Like, if they would do something which is helpful to them, especially farming, using this sustainable type of farming, it becomes so easy, in a way that they'll be able to feed even their children. They'll be able even to take care of themselves, their health, even everything that concerns them. They want, and even those people who are after them to grab maybe properties or anything, they cannot come after them, because they'll see how resilient and how strong that woman is, and without knowing what's really the background of it, like what are they really into. So I really thought it wise to say no. You know what? Women are being seen as weak people. They're being seen as if they can't work or they can't do anything, and they depend on a man, of which is not really true. It you know. We are capable of even doing more than what men do. So my community, Chiwanja area, is mostly filled with widows, is mostly filled with widows and orphans. So in that case, what I do, I myself, and the sessions that I provide, they are there to equip them and even give them knowledge and skills on how they can work on themselves. Yeah. So instead of them, so that they can keep their homes, and as well as children in school. So in that case, I'm just there to encourage them, to say, you can do this. It's really working. You can do this. It's really working, because I know how bad it feels, someone to take you out of your area of which you have been there and you have developed everything there, and out of nowhere you are gone at the village, or you're just staying in somewhere in slums or unknown locations because maybe of the death of someone, or maybe because of divorce, or maybe because of anything that maybe has happened to make someone be a widow. Yeah, so I really thought it wise to say it's not only my area. I've also done a research whereby there are also some areas like Zolo here in Zoos as well. It has a lot of like 60% or 70% of women there are widows as well. Looking at the background, they don't even have somewhere to farm, but they're also looking for on how they can be empowered commercially or agriculturally or in any sector, how they can be empowered. I was really concerned to say, oh, this is really happening in my area, like this is really happening in Malawi. So that's why I really thought it wise to include these widows, be it youths or the elders. I really included them because the challenges that I witnessed from them, and I also heard from them, were really touching. Like, this is really happening. They said yes, it's really happening. So
Wonderful. Boy, you got the point
Thank
across.
you.
That's great. Let's see.
and
Okay.
mm,
That's it. So you're really working with them, and that's beautiful because I don't think a lot of people are paying as much attention. And there's a stigma, which is probably the best
mm,
word to say of it, of being a widow. And my gosh,
mm,
you're already doing all the work. Now you got to do it twice. So, yeah,
mm.
I really appreciate all those efforts. Um, the farming, the widows, I mean, let me just tell you that there are so many programs that the Global Impact Network that we're working with, sanitary napkins being one of them, the Water Project being another one, the Empowering Women, another one, and that's kind of a general category for what you're talking about, the widows and in what various degrees or categories of women. I would love to have you join our Global Impact Network. And I've put that in the chat that every Tuesday, and of course, next Tuesday, we're doing it also. We are celebrating those that are ambassadors, and they have projects in their countries, all of which are very similar to what you're doing. It appears that you've really developed yours to a very strong degree. It's beautiful what you've done that I can see, and I'd love to be able to spotlight you or to bring attention to that and to be able to show more collaboration of what you might be able to get as far as resources are concerned. But you're sounds like you're doing pretty well with the funding part of it. We've had an upsurge of agriculture with kitchen gardens. We have a project that's working with that in orphanages to teach them and show them how to build those gardens. It sounds like you're already doing a lot of that. So there are quite a few people that would work easily into what you're doing that might give you more resources to be, of course, self-sustainable. That's what it's all about. Are there any questions more questions that are here? All right, Pat, do you have any questions for Maria?
Um, somebody's been hammering at my door and I didn't want to leave and the dogs are going nuts. So if you hear a bark
I
in the
can't
background, that's
hear a
okay.
thing.
Um, no, I'm just impressed that you're reaching out to the widows, and you said divorcees as well,
Yeah.
Maria?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
So the divorcees as well. That's interesting. What's the divorce rate, just out of curiosity, where you are?
Pardon.
What is the divorce rate? Just out of curiosity, where you are, where you're located?
It's just too
No.
much.
Too much. It's a lot,
Like,
huh?
Oh, is it?
it's a
Wow.
lot.
Really?
Okay.
Because
So
because the legs are. Mm,
that's a monumental task. Just aside from the widowed women, you're also really taking on this huge area of divorcees,
Yeah.
which are just often just as needy, if not, more
Yeah.
so than
Same
because they're
idea.
going through everybody's going through the same type of emotional trauma, but still,
Yeah.
um, interesting. I like that idea. All the other projects have been more towards the orphans and the empowering youth and things like that. But I like that you're also leaning towards the divorcees and widowers.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
uh,
Well, Maria, what is it that you need right now?
Oh, thank you so much. Right now, we're out of we have a shortage of funding. As I mentioned area that we are into accommodation, whereby we want like our activities to have a good space whereby we can carry out sessions and also accommodate um, the the resources that we're selling. Yeah, so we already have part of
oh.
Yeah. She'd be perfect for our learning hub that I'm developing in all the countries. I think that's what she's trying to say is that she wants to have a place to be able to teach
Yeah.
everybody and that
As
kind
far
of a
as I
thing.
know, they have a land, but maybe it's a matter of resources to maybe build
oh,
a kind of
okay, thank
resource
you so
center.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a learning hub
Yeah,
makes sense. And I'll
yeah.
just throw this in real fast. I just saw and I got to realize where the origin was, but at least the idea. I just saw a group that was collecting plastic bottles, and the plastic bottles were creating walls. When you
Walls.
stack them up like this and put mortar between them, they
Wow.
become a wall.
Instead of brick.
Yeah, that's really good art.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to leave.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Pat. But you can see that that whole concept would be something you could easily work with, just beginning to think about that. You create your own learning hub because that's all a part of my gin thing is that I want to get a hub in every country, and you are primed for that. So besides that, funding to be able to do that, and as you see, it wouldn't take heck of a lot for you to be able to collect garbage since you're already doing it and repurposing it to be walls. What a concept. So I am so excited, Maria, for all the things that you're doing. However, we need to have information in the chat, or this is called dinner. It's not going to go anywhere. So be sure to put your information in the chat. Funding, of course, would be obvious. So put it in there. I put my information in there, but I'd love to be able to get back to you to be able to give you more resources because you are doing exactly you're we can't even say all the miracles that you're creating, Maria. We can't see
Mhm.
it. It's like a drop
Thank you so
in
much.
the ocean, and it's just going crazy. And we're so grateful that you're around and that you're such an inspiration to all of the other women that are out there of all the things that you're doing. So please, in the chat, put your information that you can. And we're going to wrap it up at this point. So grateful that people are beginning to understand what um, women empowered across the world is capable of doing. It's being able to share information that can be collaborated with people. And we are on YouTube. We would like you to subscribe to that on YouTube, please, so that we can continue on with this and be able to be more of an impact. I thank you for listening today. As Maria explained all of the wonderful things that she's doing in Malawi. And please do subscribe and bring your friends as well. And we meet every week. And so I thank you so much for listening and remembering we're here to thrive together. Okay.
There's no divide.